much. Welcome everybody. Assalamualaikum. Terima kasih banyak-banyak. Thank you so much for being here with us. But first of all, I have to thank Tan Sri Noorul Ainur for being with us because she is all the way in California and it's midnight and we're keeping her awake. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. Welcome, Tan Sri.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So for those of you who may not remember who Tan Sri is, she was the Secretary General of the Ministry of Higher Education of Malaysia, also the Secretary General of the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation of Malaysia, and Secretary General of Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development. So, and also, before I continue with this, I would like to say a little bit about ADLA, which is ADLA Group's Berhad, that was founded by our dear Datin Dr. Liz Hassan in 2016. And ADLA stands for Advisory, Development, Learning and Achievement. So ADLA is where we are the region's first and only work-life balance training institution catered for business leaders, business owners, professional men and women, and everyone who wants to achieve success in life, inshallah. We provide hands-on workshops, corporate training, business courses, and international forums as what we are doing here today. And a very, very quick introduction to Women Mentoring Network, ladies and gentlemen, is a platform that is formed to discover and recruit women mentors, as well as women mentees. Is somebody trying to say something? Tak dengar, siapa nak sembang tu? Dengar suara jauh saja. Okay, so so Women Mentoring Network, ladies and gentlemen, we are, as I was saying, we are a platform formed to discover and recruit women mentors as well as women mentees, seeking for proper guidance in various specific fields that they are encountering. So we have a very
diverse,
very lovely blend here with ADLA and WMN, again, for men and women to empower each other. Okay, so if you want to know more, I think Intan later you can put in the websites for them to check out WMN and ADLA. Yeah, so let's not waste time anymore. The first question I would like to ask you, Tan Sri, is what are the issues faced by women during this trying pandemic crisis, this unprecedented times? In your opinion, please. Silakan.
First, I would like to thank ADLA and your group for inviting me today. And I am really passionate about women. I'm so happy to see the women faces in front of me, plus our three gentlemen, the champions, the champions of our women agenda. Give a big hand to them.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us. Yeah, to your first question, I would say that women actually they are much impacted by this pandemic. It's a global pandemic, and in fact, the World Bank itself mentioned that women they are actually the ones being badly affected by this pandemic, global pandemic. Okay, reason being, there are several issues regarding this pandemic in terms of the effect on women. One is that on employment. At global level, unemployment, at global level, actually, the women, they are the first one to be sidelined by companies or organizations. So,
why is that? Why is that, Tan Sri?
Because it's all about the culture, the mentality of not only the developing countries, but also developed economies. They are thinking about men being the breadwinner, being the breadwinner of a family. And that's the reason why they would think that it's better to let go the females and, to retain the males. So it's about culture. This is where we need to break the culture. This is where women, we have to have a platform for women, not on, at least in the context of Malaysia. This is where women should come together. Let's back each other rather than bashing each other. Backing rather than bashing each other. So it's crucial that women in Malaysia, I'm focusing on women in Malaysia per se, that we should come together, have a platform, and we can work together to ensure these kinds of issues should be brought up to the public via social media, via news, via NGOs. This should be voiced out, because it's still there was a research by, I think, UNDP, was it UNDP? Yeah, UNDP, stating that females, they are the ones being what, how to say, being categorized into poverty level with regard to this pandemic. So the impact of the pandemic on women is actually great. This is where I believe that all of you here, we can have one voice to voice it out to the government, to the media, so that people will realize this. And it's because that we work on our own, there's no platform to this, that we kind of push back ourselves and not voicing it out. So this is one crucial agenda that we should look into. And in terms of women, they are career women and also caregiver. See the word career and caregiver. Career being they go to work and earn, and caregiver taking care of the children, the husband, the household, and even the parents. Normally parents, they would give to the children as to women to take care of. So this is where the burden on women is too much, that would lead to mental depression of women. So that's another issue that we need to handle, mental depression of women. And in fact, there was a study in 2019 stating, a 2019 study by the national, let me get hold of the National Health and Morbidity Survey 2019, states that 2.3% of the population of Malaysia, they are into depression, and mostly are women. So women, they can easily get into depression, reason being of the burden, or rather the responsibilities that they are overburdened with. So that's another reason why that, the COVID-19 has impacted women. And looking at it too, don't forget domestic violence on women. That has also impacted negatively on our women. Sebabnya, women, they have the tendency to keep inside them and wouldn't want to share. And when actually the government, KPWKM, I remember those days when I was the KSU of KPWKM, we had this 1599 line to ask for assistance or ask for SOS, put it that way, SOS to the respective agencies. But women, they tend to be to keep to themselves. They are embarrassed, they are ashamed, to tell their parents, to tell their friends. This is where that there should be a group, a movement in Malaysia, and hopefully that all of you can do this too, to tell the women that it's okay for you to come up with this kind of expression, saying that, what they have done onto us, the male-dominated household did to them. And this is where that we need to open up the mind, or rather the mindset of a woman, stating that it is not okay for men to do this to us. It is not okay for domestic violence to happen in a household. And it's not okay for the children to look, or rather to witness with what happened between the parents. So this is again the impact of pandemic on our women. And as of last year, I have the statistics of domestic violence here. Yeah, 2020 until November 2020, 2,319 reported cases.
Wow.
2,319 reported cases as of November 2020. That's for the 11 months. So in other words,
that is reported. Imagine those who did not come forward.
Exactly. So this is where that I hope that this group can bring out this matter out to the public and say that assist our women in that context, you see, bantu mereka. And maybe dorang malu, but open up to them, tell them that no, it's okay, we are here with you guys. So this is where that we have to do our part. Women of Malaysia, we have to do our part for other women that there are much more introvert people out there, they wouldn't want to go and express themselves. So you people here are expressive ones. Please help them out and look what we can do with these people, with them. And that accounts for all the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on our women. There are others too. Maybe you can ask me more.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. But before we go there, Tan Sri, how can the men support the women, especially in this domestic violence thing? I mean, how can they support their friends, their sisters, their mothers? How, in your opinion, how can they assist in that? Because, I'm sure some men do not agree with domestic violence. How do you think they can support?
I think most men, they don't agree with domestic violence. It's only a few of them that are doing it. But
Sure.
This is where we need champions. We need champions coming from the male group. The male group should be telling the others meaning the male friends, or to make it public that it's not okay for you to do this. So the champions will be much more effective if we have males looking into this matter dan juga bekerjasama dengan wanita-wanita di Malaysia, and the champions like you guys here. Actually, males, they are much more effective than women when it comes to domestic violence. But then again, if you look at it, we have to nurture this from small. In other words, we are looking at the schools playing their part, education playing their part, the teachers playing their part, saying that it's not okay when they are still small, when they are still in primary school, it's not okay for you guys to do this, to women. And the parents too. The parents also play a role in this context to advise, to be together with us all to ensure that domestic violence does not happen in Malaysia.
This is absolutely interesting. I mean, this is the first time I'm actually listening that men should champion this for women, because selama ni yang saya pernah bekerjasama dengan badan-badan yang lain juga, semuanya women for women, which is good, alhamdulillah. But this is the first time that I've heard that men should be also in the forefront, and it would be more effective to have them champion us so that the other men will listen. Because kadang-kadang betul juga kalau women saja yang bercakap, the men will not want to listen, right? But for you to say that men should be championing us, I think that is an amazing idea. Datin Liz, we should look into this, inshallah. Okay, so Tan Sri, you mentioned just now, the depression, mental breakdown and everything. So how can we boost, how can all of us, especially the women, boost our physical and mental strength during this time? Because ramai kawan-kawan saya yang memang fall into depression, men and women, and I've actually had a friend who actually took his own life. And and that affected me for so long, because I didn't know. I wish he reached out to me, which I mean everybody was saying, even the wife didn't know that he was going through that, and he killed himself. So how can we stop this from happening?
If all of us recall, during our younger days, we were exposed to Darwin's theory.
Yes.
Survival of the fittest.
Yes.
Survival of the fittest is not about strength, nor is it about intelligence. It's about change. Adaptable to change. So the survival of the fittest means that whoever that can adapt to changes, they will be the ones will have a much more rejuvenated life. They have to leave behind what is not good for them to make themselves more relevant. And this is where you talk about perseverance, about strength, about resilience of individuals. So again, this for me personally, I'm looking at it in this manner. As an individual, as an individual, we have positive and negative energy, you know. So these two energies, they try to go inside, or rather try to embed into our body or our mindset.
Yes.
Our mindset, okay? Now, the question is, us being a strong woman, we should ensure that the negative energy should not go into our mind, but instead the positive energy should be embedded in us. So this is where we women, we have to ensure that we are strong enough, we are confident enough, we have the self-esteem to do away with the negative energy for us to go forward and put on our negative, positive energy into us. That's the strength of a woman. Positive and negative energy, and we have to ensure the negative energy to be embedded in us for us to move forward, for us to have a more rejuvenated life, for us to have a more refreshing life, and for us to move on with our life. So we are talking about living to our fullest with the positive energy. So that, but then again, well, people will say it is difficult. This is where that we need champions. We need champions. We need people like you to work with them. You know, we need to sometimes handhold our women to tell them that no, it's okay. I'm here with you. No, it's okay. Look at it in a positive manner. So embrace positivity. You embrace positivity. In that context, you are actually letting in more positive energy inside you, and you'll be refreshed, and your mindset will change for the better and for the good of yourself, and also the family and the ecosystem around you. So that's how I look at it, about a positive and negative energy. And I believe this to be the way forward, because I've been doing it all this while.
How have you been doing it? Share it with us.
I was a KSU of, you may imagine, I was in the civil service for 38 years. I was also working in the World Bank for 2 years. I was the president of the Science Commission, Paris, UNESCO, for 3 years. And I was also in the ASEAN Commission on Women Protection and also Children for 4 years. So actually, there are so many things. There were so many things that I was doing, but I told myself, no, you can do it. You can do it. Put in more positive energy inside you. And when you talk about positive energy, you always think that, oh, I'm doing this for myself and also for the nation. So there's a plus point.
Right.
Want the nation to be proud of you. So that's how you look at it. It's not only for me. Yeah, it's for me. Definitely, it's for me. For anyone, for that matter, you want something that's good to boost your self-esteem, right? For your confidence. But then again, when you talk about the nation, it kind of, you see the Malaysian flag in front of you, is it? So that's how you have to pacify the situation and bring in the positive energy inside you. Because when I attended the meeting, say as a president of the Science Commission in the world, in UNESCO Paris. Okay? So I was there chairing the meeting with the chairman, and you are talking about 200 states in front of me, and I was chairing the meeting, and they were listening to a Malaysian. That made me proud, is it? And the fact that, you look at those countries, they were listening to me. That's good, And I'm proud to be a Malaysian in any context or any time, anywhere. So that puts you, one way ahead in terms of having this positive energy in you.
Right. So you can empower yourself in a lot of ways. I mean, of course, we need support from the outside, but it is possible for women to empower themselves, and you proved it, right?
Definitely, you can do it. You can do. But again, I have to say, then you have to have that positive energy to ensure the positive energy going inside of you, not going out of yourself, is it? Right. And pushing away that negative energy. Once you can do that, I tell you, you have arrived.
Right. Yeah, you hold on to that strength, because sometimes you cannot be strong for other people when you are not strong yourself. Right? So that strength, you have to keep that strength inside you for you first, before you do it for others. Kan? Yes.
Yeah, okay. True.
Exactly. Okay.
And then along the way, you can assist others.
Correct. So, or else, if you don't have the strength in you, you cannot share that strength with someone else who needs strength.
True.
Right? It's just like when we travel, well, we haven't traveled in a long while. You have. I mean, when we travel, we have that the flight attendants will say, if you have someone in your care, put the gas mask on yourself first before you put on the child, you know,
Yes.
or someone in your care. Why is that? Because it has to be you first. If you are not strong, if you are not healthy, if you don't save yourself, how can you save someone else? Right?
That's a very good analogy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. No, because I've
Excellent
always
analogy.
wondered that. I've always wondered that, like, pasal apa aku nak buka aku dulu, aku nak buka anak aku, sekejap anak aku mati. But then, you know, if if something were to happen to you, who's going to take care of your child? So you have to take care of yourself first, and then you take care of someone who is, you know, in your care. So then that's somehow what I take through my life, inshallah, alhamdulillah. So what kind of platforms, in your opinion, that we should resort to when we are facing difficulties in life, whether it's mental state, whether it's business, your business, your in every kind of difficulties, maybe you can share some of the
mass vaccination.
Somebody's mic is on.
This is going out.
Please unmute yourself, ladies, and you can have your private conversations to yourself. Thank you very much.
I think so.
Okay, this is where I think that the most important thing, the crucial thing that everyone should be doing now, or rather all the time, is collaborate. You have to do lots of collaboration. And in fact, among the NGOs themselves, you should be doing the collaboration. Say, for example, I'm looking into how entrepreneurs can do something that is just way out from before. Say, for example, the elderly. By 2030, 15% of our population, they are going to be elderly population. So we are going to be elderly population by 2030. See, 15% of the population will be the elderly. Okay, now I'm throwing this question to all of you. Have any one of you thought of any ways or means that we can cater or accommodate for the elderly group? It is a niche industry which not many have thought about. A niche industry in the sense that, back now we have to change the culture, the mindset. It is all about the mindset and the culture of our people. It's okay for them to send their parents to rumah jagaan yang baik, rather than have the parents atau the warga emas to be alone at home. At least ada orang yang jaga, to take care of the elderly, the parents. And this is where I'm talking about good rumah elderly. So this is a niche industry. So we need to look into this matter, because all of us here, we are going to be old, warga emas. I am already a warga emas, okay? So
warga barlian lah, diamond lah. Kita tak usah lah gold, diamond.
Warga emas is 60 and above, okay? 60 and above. Now, my question is, I was in the Ministry of Women, Family, Community Development as the Secgen, that was way back about 10 years ago. I was just wondering now, in fact, I'm wondering now, have anyone thought of having this going to be a niche industry for the future? It's going to be about 10, more or less than 8 years that we can. Now that the pandemic, has occurred, and this is where most of us are being unemployed, the women are unemployed, and also the males are also being unemployed. Why not we look into the niche industry of the future, work it from now? We have the upskilling of ourselves with regard to the industry. Contoh dia warga emas punya industri, okay? On tempat tinggal mereka, penjagaan mereka, or otherwise. And this is where that we have lots of institutions in Malaysia that we can learn from. For example, kita ada college community. We have polytechnic, okay? We need not go to university for all this, but if we were to masuk kelas or kita request for this kind of classes for our people, for our women, for example. They can upskilling themselves now, and also prepare for them to work into this industry. So that's one niche industry that I can see that we women should be involved in. And the second one, if I think yesterday the Prime Minister mentioned about green technology. Okay, green technology, and this is where that I think in Malaysia actually we are quite behind in terms of sustainability products. And looking at it, I was reading about it just now. We are talking about innovations of green products. When you talk about green products, you are also referring to organic products too. Katalah belakang rumah tu ada tanah, okay? You got belakang rumah tu ada tanah. So why not tanam organic vegetables, organic fruits, because they can be sold at a higher price than yang normal one from Cameron Highlands. That can also be utilized for one of the niche industry with regard to green technology or green products for our people. And in this regard too, I'm looking at the green products too, because of the climate change. And now we have educated consumers. They want to have clean products, clean and green products. They don't want all these pesticides, okay? And this is where that we can work, you all, as you all meaning to say that this group here, you can form one platform for yourself to look into this agenda, green products per se, and also, and Datin Liz ni dia orang kuat pandai entrepreneurship tu you link kan dekat TMC contoh dia lah, or supermarket for these products to be sold there by our women, so that they can earn income for themselves now. Even now they can do it, you see. So there need to be a change. But the question is, katalah dekat kampung Ulu Langat lah. Ulu Langat, they got lots of land. Kajang also got lots of land. You can work from there for our women, for example. And from then on, you have to link to the respective supermarkets. Kalau you have to handhold them though, because they cannot do on their own. They can tanam. You ask them tanam, yes, of course they tanam. But to link them to the to the marketing, the packaging and whatnot, that has to be done by Peniagawati contohnya, Liz, Datin Liz, you can lead that. So that's how I look. Okay, what are the industry? So basically, it's not the end of the world with regard to pandemic. We have to have new thinking, new ideas, new products, and ensure that we work on that from now, so that say 3-4 bulan lagi, your green products of vegetables already dekat TMC Bangsa contoh dia, ataupun Jaya Jasco, for example. It doesn't take long for a product, and you can have the aquaphonic, and that can be done too.
Yes. Many people are into it now, especially because they are at home.
Yeah. So that can be done, and then you can sell them at the supermarket. So this is where I think that it's not the end of the world. Actually, there are more ideas to it, but we have to be together. Together we are strong. Women, together we are strong. So that is why I keep on saying, don't bash each other. We have to back each other. We need to be together, and we are stronger in Malaysia if all women we come together. Contoh dia, we have this NGO Wanita. Why not we collaborate? That's why I said collaborate. And NGO Wanita, collaborate with another NGO Wanita. Okay, what issue do you want to bring? Oh, I want to bring about issue on domestic violence, for example. 4-5 orang, 4-5 NGOs can collaborate together. Okay, one work on domestic violence, and then second one will be working on the entrepreneurship of our women, and the third one, maybe you're looking at the policies that can assist the women. So this is, I think it should be an integrated and comprehensive network among NGOs, to ensure that kita wanita-wanita di Malaysia will be much stronger in future. Not only in future, even now, you come out here now that you are discussing, texting each other. Okay, let's do this, let's do that now. Okay, now you are done. You have arrived. you are there as a woman of Malaysia that have all the capabilities and capacities to ensure that kita akan lebih berjaya in the context of women empowerment in Malaysia.
Great. I'm just, before we move on, I would like to bring up some things that have been written inside the chat group. Peggy Ang said, a community living concept. Yeah, Dr. Amina said, totally agree with Tan Sri, more like an activity center so that our parents can have activities, engagement and mental stimulation, not necessary to live there if they don't want to, but to be more somewhere where they feel they have friends and attention and things to do. The care industry is growing. Yeah, and then Peggy said a community of living for teenagers, senior teenager, make them feel younger.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, teenagers, that's very cute. Okay, and then Faz said that been looking at a few retirement village models since 2015 and currently working on green products and sustainable projects. MashaAllah, Faz, we have to chat with you soon and bring Tan Sri in and see what we can do more on that. Okay,
Yeah,
Nora said, agree with Tan Sri's idea regarding the old folks' homes. I think that's the thing, you know, I think there is a stigma in that, ya Tan Sri, sebab bila disebut old folks home ni orang terus tak suka benda tu. And then also from what they see on TV and you know, like Raya, they see all, you know, all these old people, you know, sleeping in a row and, you know, children forgetting them. It's a horrible picture. That's why they don't like that place. But if you find a place that is beautiful, I mean, like I've actually visited a few. There is one which I shall not mention publicly here, but I've seen this place. It's the lobby itself, macam hotel, mashallah, and you know, they have several floors, and there's like, it's like an apartment. You know, everybody has their own apartment, but they have, and every floor they have their own, you know, dining room where you want to eat together, you can. They have a common kitchen, you know, and then they have a place where they can sit down and play chess, and you know, mahal lah, benda tu memang mahal lah. Yeah, so I've been to two. One is that it's very expensive, like that, you know, where they have doctors and nurses on call 24 hours. Then there is another place where it is exactly a community, which I can see you saying it just now. I saw that place where my cousin is at the moment. She checked herself in there because she loved it. There are little chalets. So you can choose whether you want a chalet all to yourself or you want a chalet shared with a few friends. And then they, you know, siapa yang nak pergi masjid, nak pergi kelas mengaji, you can go. Siapa yang nak bercucuk tanam, you can. You can leave whenever you want to go and visit your children, but you come back there because it is a community that supports each other. So I've seen both the high-end one and the affordable one, which people actually go and check themselves in because they enjoy being with friends. Seronok pergi mengaji together, seronok pergi, you know, bercucuk tanam and stuff like that. Yeah. So then we have community of recycled teenagers. That's also a nice term for recycled teenagers. I like that. We are recycled teenagers. Yes.
Yeah, I like that too.
And then
yeah, by the way, if you were to go to Ceras or rumah orang tua, the elderly home in Ceras, by JKM, you should go there. It's fantastic.
Really?
And of course, it's a new one, and I was there when it was first opened. And you can see the technology and also the architecture. It's really meant for old people and beautiful too. They have a room to themselves. Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's
have a look at
that's what it should be, ya Tan Sri. Sebab bila orang kata old folks home ni, that is what they see, you know, the old people sleeping in a row, you know, yang macam dulu-dulu tu kan. Now when they have this, when they have a different mindset on how a retirement community should be, then it will be, you know, it will be something that, because we can't do much all the time. If we kita pergi kerja, kita jaga anak kita apa semua, then at the end we are neglecting them. But if they can be amongst their friends and their seniors, it should be, you know, something that is more feasible for them, you know, for the rest of their lives, you know, that kind of thing. Like in Perth, I mean, there is a retirement village. Yes, retirement village.
Retirement village, exactly.
Yeah. And then Shaza said nenek dia suka duduk kat pondok sebab ada kawan. There you go. You know?
Yeah.
There you go. Ada kawan. Yeah. COVID needs to be controlled, Limpo said, or else we will all worry about it. Of course, I mean, we are talking about the future here, and hopefully when things are better, you know, we can do that. Ada a few pondok modern in Jeram, community of RT living together, mengaji betul-betul. Exactly. So there is, but then not many people know about it, and as you say, we have to make it into an industry that is not only economy generating, but it's also for the betterment of all of us, I believe. Yeah. Right. So let's move on. We don't have much time. Okay. Being an entrepreneur, I'm sure a lot of us here are entrepreneurs as well. How can we reassure ourselves during this pandemic, Sri?
I think I've mentioned that many times just now. That you need,
but just to
one is the confidence, the self-esteem, and the Darwin story is very important. You have to be adaptive, is it? So this is where adaptive leadership comes into picture. You have to adapt to changes.
Right.
So for yourself to be relevant, you have to adapt. No way that you're going to be, you know, up there if you are not being adaptive. So you are a goner. So again, I have to say that, look, this is where maybe this group you can assist in terms of looking at the industry, yeah? Looking in the industry that can assist our women. Say, for example, I was in China. I was in Hangzhou. Where's our friend from China just now? Where is she? Yeah, Gillian. Okay. I went to Alibaba Business School in Hangzhou. And this is where I learned about the women of China. So what did Alibaba do during the time? Whereby actually Alibaba is the biggest e-commerce in the world. Okay, Alibaba. And this is where that was in 2017. That was the reason I took 30 of our students from higher education to Hangzhou Business School for them to stay there for about 2 weeks to learn about marketing, about e-commerce, about anything on e-commerce on Alibaba. It was a fantastic journey for the students.
Amazing, mashallah. Yeah.
So I was made to understand that Jack Ma during that time, that guy is a brilliant guy. What he did was he developed economy. You know, actually the economy in the kampung or the villages dah gone because all the young people they have gone to the cities of China.
Yes.
So the old folks tinggal di belakang. Okay. So basically they don't have anything to do. They don't have work to do. You know. So what Alibaba did was Alibaba, or rather Jack Ma, he sat down with the policymakers in China. He sat down with the policymakers in China. Okay, let's rejuvenate the villages in China. So how did they do it? What they did was they developed economies. Say, for example, katalah contoh, one village is good in terms of beras padi, tanam beras padi. Okay, focus on beras padi only. Another village, say, is good dalam buat pen, so focus on that. So basically, Alibaba and the policymakers, they gave jobs to the old people at first. Okay, at first. And when e-commerce meletup, people will make orders, right? When people make orders online, so they will order from all these old people. So orang tua ni pun sudah kaya lah sebab apa? They got all the orders from online, you see. But the policymakers were there to handhold them, and also Alibaba, punya the officers, yeah. They were there to handhold the old people because they don't know how to use. At first, they didn't know how to use, but later they became champions of utilizing the e-commerce. Now, what happened? What actually happened was anak-anak yang dekat bandar in the cities, they came back. They came back when they saw that
the parents were doing well.
Hidup prosperous dekat kampung. So in other words, the kampung is not kampung terbiar per se. It's not isolated per se. It's not being left behind. But has been rejuvenated and also has been made alive by Alibaba. And all the budak-budak muda pun balik kampung and they started to work with the parents, and the production became more they became more productive in terms of the products. So this is where actually you talk about the pull and push factors. Then the young generation, their pull factor was the cities where they can get job. But actually, Alibaba turned it around, making it the pull factor, the parents, and also the development of the villages that prospered during the time. So this is where that maybe you guys too can look into that. And I can give a good example of this. There's one graduate by the name of Azlin Junior from Sabah, Kundansang, because I did a study of him recently. I gave a talk to the JUSA group in Intan. I did a study of him. He graduated, and that guy is a young fella, about 20 over 28 or something like that umur dia.
Sorry, macam mana nak spell nama dia? Azlin
AZI, and I give you later. Yeah? Azlin Junior ke Azlin Junib ke Azlin Junior. Yeah? So what he did was, it's just like what Alibaba did. Okay. He graduated from one of the universities, but he did not want to work dekat bandar. He went back to his kampung, Kundasang, Sabah. He went there and he developed aquaponic agriculture. Okay, and it became prosperous sebab apa? Dia buat the vegetables. Dia tanam vegetables and lots of vegetables tanam dia, and not only that, McDonald's and all the KFC kan, ordered from him in Sabah. Now, the question is this. What he did was, actually, he is the pull factor. He is the pull factor to bring the young generation back to the kampung.
Right.
Because the young generation looking at him, make him as an example, and they came back to kampung, learned from him, and now he's training the young generation in Kundasang. Not only that, the old generation pun, orang warga mas lah macam kita ni kan, the old generation too became interested in his work, and they came and training dengan dia. So basically this is where it's all about the mindset, and this guy is already a millionaire dah, kaya, sebab he went into that niche industry aquaponic that was not being done or rather being taken up by the young generation, or rather not being fully utilized by the young generation. So again, this is where all of you, I would suggest that all of you sit down together and think about niche industry for our women, what we can do for them. Kalau agriculture, what we can do with agriculture, where they can come in, but get hold of niche industry, okay? And say, for example, on seafood, what kind of seafood that we can develop from rather than apa yang itu, not apa ni, yang buat pada ikan tahu selalu yang kita beli tu.
Buat apa?
I duduk dekat Amerika, ada lupa dah.
Buat apa lagi sekali buat apa Tan Sri?
Wait.
Is it?
Keropok.
Okay, keropok. Okay.
Nanti list kita kena hantar keropok lah dekat Tan Sri kat Amerika tu. Ya Allah, kesian lah
Tan
dia.
Sri nak keropok leko kot.
Kita hantar.
See, keropok kan, So what are the things that we can do with keropok, for example? If you can see, I tengok Korean movies kan. You watch
Sometimes.
Yes, of course.
seriously, they have this kind of dalam apa panggil plastic tau, that they can eat anytime, like sausage for example. So it's dalam plastic tau. So in other words, they can just nibble it anytime they want. So have you thought of any industry, katalah buat ikan apa dengan ikan ke, but letak dalam plastik, but simpan jual dekat anywhere, 7-Eleven ke, so that you can nibble it, you can bring it you can nibble it. Okay, anyone has that? No, tak ada dekat Malaysia. So think about something like that though, something that when you look at kalau you tengok other countries are doing, kan, try to do what they're doing. I think what I'm trying to say is, you get what I'm trying to say, no?
Definitely, definitely, yeah.
Dalam
I mean,
plastik tu,
yeah, faham.
yeah,
Like you said, ada sausage. When my daughter was small, she likes that, the sausage in the plastic, so that she can just nyat on that. So,
yeah, right.
Basically, apa yang ada depan mata kita, as an entrepreneur, you have to think beyond that, create something different, create something
Yes.
new, tak tersasar sangat, tapi something that that orang lain yang belum buat, and something yang that is good for everyone, kan? That's how you pivot, right?
Yeah, and I'm looking at for entrepreneurs, for example,
Sure.
if you guys get together, you form satu jawatan kuasa. When you have this jawatan kuasa, actually you can go to MEDEC, okay? MEDEC entrepreneurship punya ministry, but you come not as individual NGO, but come as a team
Right.
of NGOs of entrepreneurs, for example.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur entrepreneur A, B, C, D punya team come together, go together and sit down with the KSU of entrepreneurship. I know she will Surani will take care of things, but that will actually make you guys much more stronger.
Yes.
Because, for example, if you don't have item A, NGO number 4 can provide that to you. So actually the sharing part is crucial and can build a good relationship, a harmonious relationship among NGOs. Not only that, all of you will benefit from it rather than working alone. So collaborate. That's my take on things. And this is because I was a KSU before, and I've been meeting NGOs too. I've been meeting NGOs and also entrepreneurs during the time. And I know what works for all of you. This is based on my experience, I would say. Rather than giving to one NGO, I would rather spread it out. But all of you working together, and all of you will benefit from the project or program together.
Thank you so much for that. That's absolutely amazing. Dr. Liz and Gillian, remember, I was talking separately to both of you about how Peniagawati and Moda can collaborate, and this is exactly what we were talking about. Okay, Tan Sri, one last question before we open the floor for questions. Yeah, just now you said when the old folks in China, they started to build businesses for themselves, and depa jadi kaya raya maju jaya, anak-anak semua pakat balik kata, I say, man, mak bapak aku sudah terror, man. I want a piece of that. So that is support for families. So again, before we close, when how can a family really get together and be prosperous together? Apart from that, like what you said just now, what can families do really, to come into the picture and grow together?
For me, my advice on women, okay, for a nation, is investment in women is smart economics. They have to invest in women. Reason being is obvious. Almost 50% of the population of Malaysia, they are women. So are you saying that you want to push them aside, the 50%, or only work on the 50% of males? That cannot be done. Because by bringing in women in terms of economic empowerment, actually the GDP of a nation will increase. So there's a simple reason as to why we need economic empowerment among women. Now, again, when you talk about a relationship between male and a household, for example, I mentioned this before. I look on voice, acronym voice. VOICE. Voice is for women to have a voice. It means democratization of women. It means that you are on your own, that you can speak out. You are independent as an individual. So that's important for a B. And O is for ownership. Ownership in terms, if you are independent, you have ownership to your actions. You have ownership to your actions, meaning to say it builds self-esteem, confidence, and your relevancy in the context of the household, the environment, the organization, and the ecosystem as a whole. So it's important for women to have income of her own. Okay? Then income is equivalent to a voice. Okay? And now the I is independent. Why you are independent? Simple. I have the money. I have the money, I can speak out. In a household, I can make decisions.
Yes.
Decisions in a household is crucial. And this is where respect that you get from your husbands or your family members or your ibu mertua for that matter. Okay, your mother-in-law. So independent is where you have your income.
Right.
So it's important for women, regardless, formal or informal sectors. Formal or informal sector, you can be involved in so long as you have the income to yourself for you to be independent. Now, champions, women, strong women like you, Juita, Datin Liz, and all of you here, you are actually the champions of women agenda. And the three gentlemen just now, where are the three gentlemen just now?
Are they still here? Intan?
Yeah. Congratulations to you for being here. You guys are also the champions. But then again, you talk about champions, you talk about sisterhood.
Right.
Being together means sisterhood of all of you here. Okay, building that sisterhood to ensure that the women agenda will be bring up forward. And along the way, we definitely need the males to champion our agenda. Reason being, we are still not up there in terms of decision making. Well, let me say, I was involved, the biggest landmark in the history of women in Malaysia is the inserting of gender in our constitution. The word gender was inserted in 2001. That was the biggest landmark that pushed the women of Malaysia, stating that there's no discrimination of women, regardless jobs or anything. And imagine, in the United States of America, they have been independent for the past 257 years. They already have this constitution, but they have been trying until today to insert the word gender. They have not succeeded.
Wow.
And Malaysia, we did it within 44 years. Within 44 years, we made it in terms of putting the word gender in the constitution. Now, this is where historical background is very important for women in Malaysia. They must know about the former leaders. Our former leaders like Tun Fatimah Hashim.
Yes.
The first woman minister, Tun Fatimah Hashim. I'm talking about national leaders. We have also local leaders. Dekat Sabah, Sarawak pun ada local leaders ya. Dekat other place. I'm talking about national leaders. Tun Fatimah Hashim, she was the first woman minister. And Tan Sri Aisyah Ghani, that's another name to be reckoned with. These people, they are so dynamic, they're so committed, they are so full of vision about women in Malaysia. They forged the agenda forward. And don't forget, Tan Sri Rafidah Aziz. I worked with her when I was in the Ministry of Finance. I was in the Ministry of Finance and I was in charge of WTO. At the point of time, I went for meetings overseas dengan dia, FTAs and WTO dekat Geneva, FTAs US and I tell you, she's a real Iron Lady, you know. All of us must be proud of her until today. See? She knows the stuff and she got the respect. This is where I say that substance, woman of substance. And she has shown that we women of Malaysia, we can get the respect of international organizations, international figures when we talk about leadership. And a follow-up to that, we have Tan Sri Sharizat Jalil. And I was with her when she was a minister of KPWKM. in fact, she was the one who changed the landmark of constitution, and following to that, 30% women in public policy decision making. Ini kerajaan lah, ya. We want women dalam kerajaan to have 30% JUSA or other public policy makers. Okay, so that was in 2004. So the 30%, we have already reached 30%. Okay, it's not a quota, it is a target. Remember, quota, you stop there, finish, but it's a target. Now we have about 36%, but not enough. Reason being, 75% of the civil servants in Malaysia, they are women. Almost 75%, they are women. Okay, so again, then in 2011 we had this board of directors in public listed companies. 30% board of directors women. So we have not reached that 30%, but we are almost there. We are almost there. So we need to change, or rather we need to have a different target by now. So in other words, we are looking at all these because of all the leaders, our former leaders that have made sure that the future generation, they have to have this kind of highway for them to zoom. Okay, for them to zoom in their cars or their worker, but also for them to be empowered. Always remember that I hope that all of you here can get what I'm trying to say, and please convey this to the rest, that it's important for us to think of or rather to appreciate, to recognize, to acknowledge our former leaders in the context of women empowerment in Malaysia.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate, recognize, and acknowledge. Hang on a minute, I'm typing this in. Acknowledge our women leaders of the past for what they have done for us and for what they have done for the country. And
exactly,
we have to know. Yes, thank you so much. Noshida kata, voice ownerships, your action built your self-esteem, independent. Oh, okay, thank you very much. She's actually putting in what you were saying just now. Thank you so much for that.
And the last one is empowerment. E is for empowerment. Empowerment of women in all sectors, in all spheres. So V is for voice, O is for ownership, I is for independent, C is for champions, and E is for empowerment of women in all spheres.
In all spheres, I like that, in all spheres. So that means it's borderless, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely borderless, indeed. Okay, so we would like, it's already 4:05. We promised Tan Sri 1 jam saja. Kita ni dah sembang dengan Tan Sri tak berhenti. Can I have questions, please? Anybody who have any questions? If you like to put it in the chat group, and we'll read it out. And because if we were to have everybody talk at the same time, it's going to be a bit, telang kabut. Can we have your questions in the chat group?
There's one question, Juwita, from Hani Fossum there.
Come again?
There's one question from Hani Fossum. She's asking, how do you keep your health and so much positivity and energy? I think I'd like to know that as well, Sri. Keep going back and forth, US and Malaysia, all right?
Well, I've always been a positive person. And Alhamdulillah, I've always been a positive person, and I look at things and I will have, say for example, children playing in your house and they will litter your house, for example. People will be angry, but I would put in assumption, maybe that children is learning something from that kind of behavior. So you have to, how do you say it in Malay? Bersangka baik, or what do you call it?
Yes, correct. That's it. Bersangka baik.
Bersangka baik, and you turn it around. You see, you turn it around to make it positive. And I've survived 38 years in the civil service. Whoo, I tell you, 38 years in the civil service. You name it, I got everything. But it's being positive and enjoying every minute of it. I have not gotten into any negative, because I look at it in a positive manner. Say for example, when I was Kementerian Wanita lah ya, ada wanita would come to me, I want some money because my ni, so I will ask DKM to give the money. Always bersangka baik, Don't say, oh, she wants money because she's going to spend on this and that and that. So you have that negative connotation already running in your brain. So that is actually you are inserting that negative energy in yourself. And I tell you, always laugh and smile.
Laughter is the best medicine, kan?
Yes, always laugh and smile. The smile should get into your eyes, and when you look at people, you laugh and smile. And I love to have people laughing and smiling at me too from here. Okay, you all guys better smile. Senyum, anak tengok muka you all senyum semua dari ni. But that's how it
kena
is.
paksa senyum dengan Tan Sri. Siapa yang off video, please on your video now.
Kena paksa senyum.
So,
While we are doing it, I think kalau semua orang tengah senyum ni, kita boleh ambil gambar kot.
Yes.
Boleh kan?
Yeah.
Tan Sri paksa semua orang senyum, kita boleh ambil gambar. Cepat.
okay,
Kita boleh ambil gambar dan Tan Sri boleh jawab lagi soalan a few more.
yes.
So okay, there are 2 pages here. There's 2. So there's 3. Okay. So you all have to hold that smile. Because we don't know, which screen you'll be at because there are 3 screens. So hold that smile, freeze it, and then we'll take your photo. Are you all ready?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I pun ambil juga. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next page. There you go. Big smiles, everyone. Lagi? Dah. I've got 2 screens. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Tan Sri, a question from Haniza. I think sebab dia nampak kat atas katil tu ada buku kot. Dia tanya, what is your favorite book and why?
Oh, okay. I'm ready. Wait, I'll get hold of the book.
Tu dia ambil dah. Nampak atas katil, dia ambil dah.
Okay. My advice to all of you here, this is by a woman. It's called The Entrepreneurial State. Have you heard of Mazzucato? Mariana Mazzucato.
Yes.
This is a good book about digitalization. And I've read it about 2 years ago. So I'm actually making notes of it. And the other one is Robert Proof. We are talking about 4th Industrial Revolution. So the 4th Industrial Revolution. So this is where higher education in the age of artificial intelligence. Yeah. So
okay, Tan Sri boleh pegang nanti buku, the first buku pegang macam tadi nak ambil gambar. Nanti I boleh share. Pegang. Kenalah nampak muka you sikit. Tarik belakang sikit. Don't close your face. Okay, got it.
And this one is got it, yeah? Robert Proof, higher education
got
in
it.
the age of artificial intelligence.
Yes, got it.
And this is also good. Okay. Women, you are talking about e-commerce. E-commerce now is huge. You have to go for e-commerce rather than physical entrepreneurship. So you are talking about digital economies at global margins. So even dekat Africa semua, and I tell you, if you were to go to Alibaba, for instance, they export their product sampai dekat Russia tau. Russia and all the tan Uzbekistan, apa-apa tan tu, they exported their goods. So e-commerce is the way to go. So the thinking now is for you all to build up a platform for e-commerce. Yeah. And so again, digital transformation. This is where that dapat ya, digital transformation ya.
Dapat.
Survive and thrive in an era of mass extinction. So digital economy is here to stay. You cannot avoid it. So for us to progress, we have to be involved in e-commerce. That's the selling of the products and also the services. Products and services, the dua, yeah? But then again, this is where the networking and also utilizing of social media is very important. Yeah? And if need be, you have to venture out into macam Alibaba e-commerce punya platform. You're talking about Lazada platform. You're talking about Shopee punya platform. So this is where that woman, you as a jawatan kuasa, that's why I'm looking at so many things that you all can do as a jawatan kuasa of all these, for women entrepreneurs, that you have to work together and get into this platform. And if you get into this platform, you will be there and will be exporting your stuff all over the world, including other parts of Russia and the rest. So again, always remember that digitalization is here to stay. What we are doing now is going to stay. The webinar, Zooming session is going to stay for good.
Definitely.
And yeah, so it's going to stay for good, you see. So this is where that we need to train even our women to utilize Zooming session for their products, selling of their products, for example. And not only that, for the rest yang lecturers yang virtual lecturers semua tu, they can all utilize that in terms of networking with others too.
Okay, there's one long question. The reason why I'm reading is because some people, when you log into Zoom with your handphone, it's a bit difficult to see the chat group. So Tan Sri, what do you think of the combination of toddlers and teenagers living community, a place for working parents to send both their children and parents while holding family in one place? At the end of the day, the toddlers and the children and parents will go back home together. What do you think of this idea?
Fantastic in terms of the elderly, they would love to have children around. It kind of rejuvenate or makes your life much more cheerful, betul tak? Having children running around or that. I think this idea has been put forward in developed economies, but I'm not too sure whether which country actually has taken up to this idea. But this is fantastic. So, looking at this, I would say that you have your parents, right? For example, you can send your parents dekat rumah sebelah tu, and also your children at the same place, and at the end of the day, you can pick them together. I think that that's good in terms of the harmonious of relationship. Also, by the fact that I think this is a niche industry that we can seriously look into for the future. But again, I have to say that it's about the culture. Sometimes we need to break the culture of the Malaysians per se, regardless of races, Chinese ke, Indians ke, Malays ke. I think the Chinese, they are okay, but the Malays especially, when you send your anak, your parents kan dekat rumah orang tua, there's always the connotation of anak tak kenal budi or whatnot. This is where this is where I'm brave enough to say this, and it's okay. This is where that we need to change the mentality. Yes. One is that when you send your parents to send tempat yang bagus. In other words, you're talking about tempat yang bagus. It's better, like you say, it's better for them to have their friends around. They can live longer, with their friends around. They can have a better mindset with their friends around, rather than duduk dalam bilik je kan, and dekat rumah kita. And also the anak will be going overseas lah, bekerja lah. I'm not pergi anak bekerja overseas atau will be going here, will be going there. Hardly have time for the mother. And also, if you were to see, if you have a good amenities in the elderly home, that would be a plus point in terms of sending. So again, you need to change the mindset. The mindset is very important. It's always that mak boleh jaga 10 anak, anak tak boleh jaga seorang. That kind of thing.
Yes.
I think you need to get it. But then again, I have to stress the point that you want to send your parents, go send to a good home. In other words, in good home, to ensure that they're happy and also healthier, So I think, but first that mindset, you need to keep that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so we can take one more question. It is 4:17. I think we should let Tan Sri have her rest. It's almost 1 a.m. there in California. Ladies, one more question. Do you have any question? Can you put it in the chat? One more. Okay, Peggy, can we stop them from thinking about sending parents to homes? I don't understand that question, Peggy. Would you like to turn on your microphone? Yeah, just explain that. Can we stop them from thinking about sending parents to homes? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm just wondering because it's in the culture, like Tan Sri was just saying, that everybody wants to send their parents to the home because they want to take good care of them, right? So instead of that, can we educate the society into making sure that the parents know how to take care of themselves and eliminate the needs to send them to homes? Can it be done in an educational way?
Okay, thank you for that question. Tan Sri?
Yeah, it can. Definitely, if the parents want to stay with them, but at the same time they can be independent, and also for them to have a better life, they would say think so. That's fine. That's fine. And they can be independent and have a good life with their children. But what I'm saying now is for those children, or rather for those parents think that they are better off in the place where they can have friends, therefore you need to send them to rumah orang tua. But again, I have to stress the point that sometimes the children, it's not that they do not want to take care of the parents, but by the fact that they are sometimes not at home. Say for example, they go outstation and there's no one to look after the parents, so that will be an issue. And regardless, I think that it's better for the parents and also the children to talk among themselves of how to resolve the issue. But at the same time, we need to create awareness that it's okay for parents to be sent to rumah. Like you say, somebody was saying here, we need to change to the old folks home punya nama lah.
Yeah, we have to change it.
Okay. Rather than have also katalah ke rumah bahagia atau rumah indah, atau ke apa ni, ataupun physical indah, something like that,
Yeah,
you need
we have to find a positive name for it so that it doesn't sound so terrible, kan?
Exactly. And in order for us not to have that connotation, that negative connotation, stating that rumah orang tua, that's it, dah hantar rumah orang tua, because that has always been in the media. Apa ni, hantar rumah orang tua. So that connotation has given a bad impression to the public. So now we have to create awareness to ensure that the name has to be changed in such a way that we are talking about a new development, new niche industry with regard to the elderly.
Okay.
So I'm glad that we are discussing a lot about the elderly here.
Thank
because
you.
by the fact that
one question.
One last question.
One question from me.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, Tan Sri, just asking, Tan Sri dulu used to be with Kementerian Wanita, right? So LPPKN is actually part of Kementerian Wanita lah. So I'm just wondering, is there anything that has been brought up with regards to this matter lah? Because I'm listening. So I'm just wondering, pihak atasan tak pernah mengambil langkah untuk to do all this regards to the nation?
That's not LPPKN, it's JKM. Bantuan orang JKM, rumah orang tua di bawah JKM, okay? But LPPKN is on family. Again, that's why I would suggest to you or to you guys to visit rumah JKM Ceras. Go visit and see for yourself what the government has done in terms of the architecture and the place for them to stay. It's a beautiful place and it's very modern. And in fact, you'll be surprised to know that it's actually rumah orang tua, rumah warga emas kerajaan, binaan kerajaan, because it is so how to say it, so like macam private sector.
So kerajaan has actually done it, but is it in every state or apa?
Kerajaan already done it, has already done it, but ialah NGOs yang buat rumah warga emas ni, and the NGOs, they are there to assist, and also the NGOs, they get allocations for that actually, so this is where the kerajaan then wanted to work with the NGOs too. and allowing the NGOs to take charge also of that. But then again, always remember that now most of our the middle income earners, yeah, they are young people. They are young people, middle income earners. They are already earning a lot from businesses, from from their work, and they can afford to have a better place for their parents in future. So again, I have to say that a better place means to say that this industry, as a niche industry, should be seriously looked into, considering that by 2030, 15% of our population will be, put it this way lah, warga emas punya negara. By 2030, kita will be warga emas punya negara.
It means so, a privatization lah. You think about privatization of the sector lah. For that matter.
Right, and you guys, because it's a niche industry, no one has really looked into that, and I think that we should seriously look into this.
I think that's P2P lah, private and public partnership.
Yes, you can have that.
Yeah.
P2P. It can
Okay.
be done. It can be done.
So we have one last question here in the group. Ladies, before we say goodbye, it's already 4:23. Empowering women, this is from Noshida Abdullah Tan Sri. Empowering women financially is very important now. And you just voiced that with VOICE. Now that I experience women having to ask their men first, when they want to ask to invest for themselves. How can we empower women who have this problem where they have to ask their men first before they do anything?
That's a good question. Get a good husband in the first place, Before you get married, get a good husband.
Yes.
This is where that, as per, how to say it, cinta pandang pertama does not work, you see. You have to really study this one. Tell that to your children. You have to study the men. Is it? You have to really study the men, and just that love at first sight doesn't work anymore. Those were Mills and Boons day. You all tahu tak Mills and Boons?
Yes. Mills and Boons.
we read Mills and Boons day. Now no more. Okay. At least you have to study the background of the men. So back to the harmonious relationship I mentioned just now. Actually, this is a good question in terms of, men, to get respect from men, we must have income. This is where independence is very important. And so, in other words, when we have income, we have a voice. So we have to be brave enough to have a voice in a household. We can voice our opinions. We can voice our decisions to the husband. And at the same time, by doing that, actually, women, they have come to a step higher rather than those who do not have income by themselves. When I said income, I meant to say informal sector or formal sector. Doesn't matter if you work in the private or public sector, or you work as, jual goreng pisang ataupun buat kuih raya, kan? It does not matter. So long as you have the revenue to yourself and income to yourself, you have a voice. So in this case, why should you be asking your husband when you have your own income and you can spend on your own and do not have a joint account? Now I'm telling all the bad things to you guys.
Not bad things lah. Good things lah.
Because if you have your own income, you have own bank account, you have a say to it. Ini kalau dah joint account, abang boleh tak kalau saya beli ni? Why do you need to say that? It's your money in there. Why do you have to ask permission?
Yeah.
I think I'm being very blunt and crude in here, okay? But because it is based from my experience when I was working in KPWKM and also in other ministries, the wife would come to see me, or my staff would come to see me about all these issues. So I was very adamant that you have your money, keep your own money. Do not have joint account, because your money is actually your independence. Your money is your independence, and also you have a voice. When you join account, susah nak ada voice. Sebab apa? Nama dua, how to say your voice? Betul tak?
Betul. Now Juwita Jalil nak buat jahat. Have a joint account but have your private account as well. Kan? Betul
That's
tak?
better.
So, oh no, I tell you, the husbands are going to come after me.
You mean recorded?
I know. So yeah, no, I mean, your money is your money lah. Joint account, but then always have yours, have some of yours put aside, because this is what my late mother told me.
Yeah, betul.
My late mother told me that,
Yeah.
have something of your own put aside for yourself. That's what she told me. So, go
Good
take it up. Go take it up with my mother, not with me. Okay, so Alhamdulillah, we have it's almost 4:30. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Please give Tan Sri.
Great. Can I say something before that?
Yes, please.
For those who want to contact me, can I because I have not written here my email. Okay, I can type it here.
Yes, I've typed your number though.
219. Oh my God. That's my number. And my email is wait.
Juwita, I kind of have a follow-up question to the last question yang Tan Sri cakap.
Okay, boleh. Apa dia?
Because you were talking about how women should be like independent and like be able to like control your own money and everything, because that's the sense of independency for the woman to be able to get the freedom. But I don't know if you know, a couple of weeks or I think a couple of months ago, there was a viral clip that went around, at least on social media, by a very strong woman motivational speaker in Malaysia who literally says
Oh
that,
dear, yes.
and Juwita knows this. I think a couple of people
Okay, what does he say?
The bodoh-bodoh part lah.
Is the snippet of it is, perempuan janganlah jadi terlampau strong, terlampau independent, because nanti lelaki tak suka. So kena lemah lembut, kena memerlukan, kena weak sikit.
Kena bodoh-bodoh dia
Kena
kata.
bodoh-bodoh. That's the word that she used.
Oh yeah, in fact I commented about that in my Facebook.
Okay.
I said that, look, kalau kena bodoh-bodoh, why is it that she's so educated? She's very educated.
Exactly.
So I malas nak tu, but I commented that in my Facebook that
Okay,
why
I will
someone
read that
as
out.
intelligent as her would have that kind of statement to be made, is it?
Because it's funny coming from an educated person to tell younger people, especially younger girls who look up to her because she's well educated and she's successful.
Exactly. And,
Well, I think she had a bad day. Tan Sri kata tadi kena sangka baik.
yeah.
She had a bad day.
Mm,
She had a bad day.
yeah.
Thank you, Tan Sri. Just wanted to follow up on that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the session. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Tan Sri. Thank you so much for being with us. Dah pagi-pagi buta dah, and she's still with us. Thank you so much.
Can I say my last thing first?
Please do.
Okay. My final word is that we women, we have to work together, and we need to have a platform to do that. And we are not saying that we can do it on our own. No, we have to have collaborations between NGOs or between the entrepreneurs and others. And at the same time, that we women, when we come together, we must have that positive energy in us. Plus, we should be backing each other, not bashing each other. Okay, so that's my final word. We keep on backing each other and not bashing each other. And by doing that, actually, women in Malaysia, we can really prosper. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a big round of applause for Tan Sri. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for spending, your late morning with us. Thank you so much. Ladies, before we go, very quickly, WLDP, the Women Leadership Development Program course, is a certification course under Women Mentoring Network, WMNS series. It is a 2-day course with an aim to provide you with an overview of leadership skills, to clarify roles, responsibilities, and expectations as a leader of the day. So we developed this comprehensive women leadership course for you, so that you can be in this niche and high demand area and become a successful leader, a mentor, and a coach. So if you want to know more about this, you can always contact us. I think most of you are already in the chat group for this session. But if you miss us, if you miss that, because the chat group will be disbanded after this, quickly get your information there. But you can always go to the WLDP website. You can also find Datin Liz and myself on LinkedIn, and we can connect there as well. So to all of you, thank you so much. We will have another session, inshallah, in 2 weeks' time. This is something that we're going to do regularly with strong women to empower women. And of course, the men are definitely welcome to join us, to support us and to champion us, as Tan Sri said just now. So ladies, I hope to see you all again soon. Keep a lookout for our next session, and be safe, be blessed always. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Tan
you.
Sri.
Bye.
Thank you, Tan Sri. Good morning, Tan Sri.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you soon, Tan Sri.